There I go, baby. Let's start. All right, it's on now.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because I hear the feedback or see the feedback. All right, shalom, brothers and sisters. Happy Sabbath day to you all. It's always good to be before you on the Lord's Sabbath day. If I sound a little funny, that's just because I'm getting over a little small head cold I had for about 2 days. I may not sound too good, but I actually feel great. It's just I'm getting the last of this cold out of me. So I got this good old tissue box right here. That way, if I need to blow my nose, I can just blow my nose. I'm using Homeline facial tissues. I ain't want to buy Kleenex. It costs too much. So I was like, I need some of these Homeline facial tissues. They thin, but they get the job done. Now, brothers and sisters, before I do any more talking, I want to just check the mics real quick before we get started. So for you brothers and sisters that's on Rumble, you guys can hear me well. There's no mic distortion. There's no in and out sounds. There's no type of grainy noise, nothing weird like that. For those of you in Rumble, just put a 7 in the chat for me so I know everything is all good. Because again, I don't know if everything oh yeah, Puff's tissue, yeah, the little mascot boy with that red nose.
I say that's what it reminds me of, that little Puff's tissue.
Shalom, Mark Carter. I appreciate that, putting that 7 in the chat for me. Shalom to you too, C. James 20. It's good to always see y'all in the chat, man. Now I'm gonna move on to you guys here in YouTube. The mic sounds good. There's no type of distortion, no type of wind noise, no type of grainy sound, no in and out going on. Just go ahead and put a 7 in the chat for me so I know everything is all good. Like I said, I don't know if everything's all good unless y'all tell me. All right, brothers and sisters, I definitely appreciate that for your participation. Before we get started with James chapter 4, of course, I got to let you guys know, just as a little reminder, that Passover is coming up. So we will be memorializing the Passover April 12th, which is on a Saturday. So it falls on a weekend, but we know Saturday is the 7th day, but you know how the heathens got it set up. But it's going to be April 12th on Saturday, and we're going to be starting at 10 a.m. So just a reminder to you all, get your minds prepared to receive the word of God on Saturday, April 12th at 10 a.m. Okay. And always remember too, that you can always go on our israelschurch.wix website if you want to take a look at the feast days, what days they are and what time it starts. You can always do that as well.
I was going to say too, is on that Passover, which is, or communion, we do take the communion on that day.
Mm-hmm.
So just make sure y'all get y'all some wine or grape juice and some unleavened bread.
Wine or grape juice or some unleavened bread, so we can take the communion of the Lord together. All right. Because as the Lord said, we do that in remembrance of him always and his great sacrifice for us. Now, with that being said, guys, today we're going to get into James chapter 4. It's not going to be too long or too short. We're just going to get finished whenever we get finished, brothers and sisters. All right, so James chapter 4. And we're going to get right into it, brothers and sisters. If you can, Zahara, go ahead and read verse 1 for me.
Okay. From whence come wars and fightings among you?
Now, mind you, James is talking to the 12 tribes of Israel, mainly those ones that have come to Christ. This is who his audience is. This is who the letters are intended for. So he says, from whence come wars and fightings among you. And when you fight somebody, you're intending to cause harm. And when you go to war, you intend to kill and to conquer. All right. So these are some very strong words that James is using. Okay, go ahead.
Come they not hence, even of your lust that war in your members?
That war in your body. That's what he's talking about. Now he's saying this is happening because of what? Of lust. Now lust means that you are consumed or overtaken with desire. Now remember, desire itself is very different from lust. Desire just simply means that you want something. But lust means that you're completely overtaken by your desire, which means your brain is running on autopilot. You are absent-minded. The only thing on your mind is to obtain your desire. You are completely controlled by it. And James is saying this is why there is wars and fightings among you. Because you got something on your mind. And let me tell you something, when a man or a woman has lust on their mind, they willing to run any and everybody over to get what it is they desire, whether it's a car, a house, maybe some type of position on the job, some type of shoes, you name it, because men and women, they have many desires, many desires. You lusting for a woman, lusting for a man, and you are willing to do any and everything that it takes to get what it is that you desire, because you're in lust. So you're completely overtaken by that desire. Now, when you just desire something, remember, you're kind of just like, oh, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. That ain't how lust operate. Lust like, I'm going to get this thing by any means necessary. This is why in the world today, for example, everybody's running each other over. Because they're trying to get they're trying to fulfill their lust, which is not good, because even if you get that thing, you're only feeding the beast. You're going to only want the biggest and best thing. Now, the reason why James is bringing this up anyway, when he's talking to the 12 tribes of Israel who's come to Christ, because he understands that there's a process. There's a growth process. And so the transformation is not just overnight when you come to Christ. And I think that's where a lot of Israelites get it twisted. They think, oh, I believe in Christ now, and I understand love. That means it's going to be a overnight transformation. No, that's not how it works. Every day you're purging yourselves of these bad behaviors and this wicked mindset you have. That's what it means to walk with Christ. Every day you're purging yourself of that leaven. Every day you're purging yourself, shining brighter and brighter to that great day. That's what it's all about. Every day you're trying to be better every day. Better than you were yesterday or a few minutes ago. Always improving, transforming this mind. And see, I was going to say too, James, our father, he talks about lust. That lust means too that you're carnal and that you're worldly. That's what that lust means. That's why he brung it up. And again, he know all these Israelites are coming from, different walks of life. But one walk he know that they all coming from is from this world, in the direction that the world was going in, which is chaos, filled with lust. And he's essentially telling them, he's like, listen, man, you coming to Christ and stuff, you can't operate like this. Out in the world, in the course of the world, that's how they operate. But here in Christ, we don't operate like that. You can't walk in love, because you're going to be walking in love or you're going to be walking in lust. And I'm just telling you, when you walking in lust, you willing to hurt any and everybody to fulfill, to satisfy the lust. That's why you look here in 2025, people out here destroying each other. Why? Because they trying to one up their brother, trying to one up their sister, trying to get something to fulfill or satisfy their lust. And so their brains are running on autopilot. The only thing in their mind is, how can I get this stuff right here? And if anybody get in my way, I'm going to run them over. And that is contrary to the law of Christ. Because the law of Christ tells us, hey, you need to love your brother and sister. You need to consider. Don't lie to your brother. Don't exploit them. But when you full of lust, you're going to do all that stuff because you're trying to get what you're trying to get. And that's how this world get down. But that's not how we're supposed to get down. Now let's go to Psalms 10. Psalms chapter 10, and we're going to read verse 4 and 5. And when you get there, let's go ahead and read verse 4. Okay. Go ahead.
The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts.
It be on their countenance. You can tell these people, they on the warpath. Now it says the wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts. Now you can replace the word God with love. Love is not in all his thoughts. And we can go back to the subject that we're talking about here, which is lust. God is not in all his thoughts. Why? Because this wicked man or this wicked woman, they are consumed with lust, which means that they are carnal men and women. They are only concerned with the things of this world. They are blinded by the prince of this world. The only thing on their mind is this earth age right here. They're not thinking about the kingdom to come. And not to mention, we're just sojourners here. You can die today. All that stuff you lusted over and all that is out the window, gone. So God or love is not in all his thoughts. Because I got to trample, I got to one up, I got to destroy and kill to get what I want. And you know why this wicked man, wicked woman not seeking after God? Because they already have a God. And it's the God of this world. And it's Satan. And Satan tell them what to do, where to go, how to talk, how to operate. And one of them things that he tells them and how they need to operate is through lust. No, get yours. Run everybody else over. Just get yours. Long as you good, long as you straight. It don't matter who you hurt, who you mess up, who you talk crazy to get what you want. You get it and you keep it moving. That ain't how the Lord operates. And they say God is not in his thoughts. Because why? Who is in this wicked person's thoughts? Satan. That's who's in their thoughts. And again, he running their show. He telling them again what to do, what to say, and how to live. Now, verse 5.
His ways are always grievous.
And it's always grievous because they not operating in love. The wicked, their number one MO is to hurt and to maim, to satisfy themselves. That's how they get down. Go ahead.
Thy judgments are far above out of his sight.
That's right, because God is contrary to his mindset. I want to operate one way, but God telling me to operate another way. Hey, I ain't trying to do that other stuff. I'm trying to do my thing. Go ahead.
As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them.
And the wicked, all of their enemies are all of those who trying to get them to change. Hey man, stop doing that. That's wrong. Tell me what to do, man. I've been doing this a long time. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna stop either. I'm trying to get mine. That's how the wicked think. They don't want nobody coming and telling them that what they're doing is wrong and that they need to change. And those people that rise up and tell them again that what they're doing is wrong, that they need to change, these are the ones that the wicked deem to be their enemies. Now, let's go back to James chapter 4. And we're going to read verses 2 and 3. And when you get there, go ahead.
You lust and have not.
So he said, you do all that lusting. And lust ain't just a feeling either. It's also an action. You harming, you maiming, you doing all kind of evil. And James said, you still ain't got what you are consumed by desire with. Go ahead.
You kill and desire to have and cannot obtain.
That's right.
You fight in war, yet you have not.
And you still don't have not. You still don't have it. Go ahead.
Because you ask not.
He say, because you ask not. But, verse 3.
You ask.
You do ask though, but.
And receive not, because you ask amiss.
Meaning you ask inappropriately. Go ahead.
That you may consume it upon your lust.
Because this stuff that you asking for, it don't benefit nobody.
Mm-hmm.
It don't benefit you and it don't benefit the people around you. It's simply so you can satisfy that funny feeling that you got in your chest. To impress people. To one up people around you. Just to say, yeah, I got it. You ain't got it though. Get stuff you don't even need or use. It don't benefit nothing. It don't do nothing. It's just vain. That's what the Lord talking about. It's just vanity. And now, mind you, Babylon ain't helping at all. The fourth beast, they constantly got propaganda out there. They constantly got marketing out there. They throwing ads in your face 24/7. Yeah. Arousing the lust that is inside people. Because all of us got lust inside of us, brothers and sisters. All the fourth beast is simply doing is arousing it. Trying to get it to come out. And this is why people out here getting hurt and hurting others. That's what everybody doing out here today in 2025. Lusting after position, lusting after money, a title, and way willing to destroy and harm any and everybody to get what they want to get. And like I said, when that lust is in your mind, I mean, just for example, right? Let's look at David. Remember when he lusted after Bathsheba? His mind was on autopilot. And it's almost like you're in a trance-like state. That's what I see out here. People, they're in like a trance-like state. And it don't matter how many people come to talk to you. Hey, man, you know that's the wife of Uriah. It's like he didn't even hear him. Because when you're in that lustful state, your mind, you're consumed. Your brain has been replaced with lust. You cannot be reasoned with. That's the danger of lust. You can't be reasoned with because all you see is your desire that you're consumed with. And David's desire was what? I got to have this woman. Even his own men said, hey, man, you know that's somebody's wife, man. He didn't care about none of that. I got to have this woman. It committed a great sin and brought a lot of trouble on his house. And that's what you see today, brothers and sisters. People can only see their desires that they're consumed with, and they're bringing all kind of evil on themselves, the city, the country, on their family because of lust. And Satan, he be feeding that stuff, boy. Mm-hmm. And this is why you have to walk with God, because see, the Lord, he teaches you how to be content. He teaches you contentment. And anyway, when your eyes is on the kingdom, when you understand that you truly are a sojourner on this earth and that you can die at any time, as brothers and sisters, we are not promised any type of time. When you understand that, you realize trying to chase women and money and trying to chase a title, and you realize none of that stuff don't mean nothing. Look at rest in peace, George Foreman. But George Foreman just passed away. What is 76 years old? I mean, all of that stuff he did, boxing, all of these accolades, all the grills he sold, all the money he made, that stuff gone. And I assure you, the Lord don't care about none of that stuff. That's earthly stuff. Hey, the Lord ain't concerned with none of that. What he want to know is, was you operating in love under these extreme conditions that I put y'all under? That's the only thing he concerned about. That's the only thing he concerned about. And so, see, James, he's speaking to these Israelites because he know we coming from that world. He like, listen, don't bring that stuff in here. When you come to Christ, when you come into the body, don't bring that stuff in here, man. That's how the world operates. Here, we learn contentment. We read all that verse 5. I think we did. Yeah, because they all his enemies, he puffed at them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you read
Psalms.
that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now, though, we're going to go back to James chapter 4. And we're going to read.
We finished verse 3.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh.
He said that you may consume upon your lust. We're supposed to go to Galatians 1 and 10. And two, when you're lustful, that means too that you still have an eye for this world. Because you got a lot of brothers and sisters. They carnal. They only concerned with this life and the things of this life. And it catch their eye. Like, man, I want to be a part of that, man. You know, man, look at how they doing this and do that. You got to keep your eyes on the Most High. Just like Peter, he was fine. As long as he kept his eyes on Christ, he was just fine. He was walking on water. Only two people could say they ever walked on water. That's Christ and Peter. And Peter, he was just fine. As long as he was looking at Christ. But the moment he started looking around, he started to sink. And that's what happened to you spiritually. You keep your eyes on Christ. But the moment you start getting the eye for this world and you start caring about this world and the things that's going on in it, that's when you start to sink.
That's right.
Because Satan, he constantly pulling at you, trying to get you to come back out here. Mm-hmm. Who you think these ads and this propaganda is for? You think that's for the wicked? Mm-hmm. Brothers and sisters, I'm going to ask y'all a question real quick. Do y'all think that all of this propaganda and all of this marketing and all of these ads and all of this stuff, do y'all really think that's for the wicked? Do y'all think all of them ads and the propaganda and all of these marketing, y'all really think that's for the wicked? No, exactly, y'all know. Because Satan already got them. Yep. No, his goal is to pull you. Because remember, Satan through this fourth beast, remember, he's at war with who? Saints. Brothers and sisters, who's this fourth beast at war with, brothers and sisters? Who's this fourth beast at war with? That's right, brothers and sisters. The saints, Israel, and more specifically, believe in Israel. That's right, T. Brown, the remnant of the woman's seed. That's who Satan through this fourth beast is at war with. So they're trying to capture you. They're trying to ensnare you. They're trying to entice you and pull you in. Because the wicked have already been got. No, it's you. That's who Satan is after. Satan is after you. I'm after your mind, your body, your spirit. And this is why Christ tells us we need to renew our mind. Because our head, directly, indirectly, it get filled with garbage all day. And so it is very important that every day we reset this mind by reading the Word of God. Because meditation on the Word and all that, we don't realize, but that's spiritual. We're looking at it as a physical act, but it's not. It's spiritual. I've always said this, the spiritual and the physical is connected. What happens in the spirit plays out in the physical. But now, let me read this real quick. This Galatians 1 and 10. Go ahead.
For do I now persuade men or God?
Or do I preaching the gospel? Go ahead.
Or do I seek to please men? For if I yet pleased men, I should not be the servant of Christ.
But see, it's the opposite for the wicked, though. The wicked do everything that they do to please men. That's what it's all about.
Yep.
Even when it comes to lust. Why do men and women, why do they want to fulfill their lust? Because they trying to please men.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this stuff I got. So they can boast. So they can operate in their pride. That's why men and women, that's why they lust. That's why they do what they do. So they can please men. We call it impression.
Mm-hmm. Men, please.
Why is that man lusting after this car? Is it really because this brand new 2025 car? Now, if you want the car just because you want it and because it's nice, fair game to you. But let's just be honest, brothers and sisters. Why does this man want this 2025 car right here? Is it because it can't do the same thing as this 1997 car can't do? Or 2001 car can't do? No. He want it so he can boast.
Yep.
So he can show off. So he can please men. So he can entice this woman that he was lusting after.
Mm-hmm.
To please men. And if that's your mindset, I'm just telling you, when you pray to the Most High for that thing you want, and it's from the perspective of the fact that you trying to please men, I'm just telling you, it's going to be a big fat no.
Yep. Emphatic no. Because he know them intent.
Because he know your intent, and ain't no hiding your intent from God. It say he know every man's heart. He know every man's heart. Ain't no fooling him. To please men. Why do I want this big position at work? Not just because it's going to give me more money, stuff like that. No, man. It's because I get to be the big dog. I can lord it over people. People that look at me like I'm nothing, I can please them in the sense of, yeah, look at me now. Mm-hmm. That's vain, brothers and sisters. That is some vain junk. That is vanity. But this is why men do what they do. And I'm telling y'all what y'all already know. When you look out here, we know this is how people operate. Again, this is why everybody is out here running each other over. Trying to be the next guru. Trying to be the next star. Trying to be the next social media pundit. Trying to be the next millionaire or billionaire. Why? So that way they can please or flex on men and women. And again, brothers, it's nothing wrong with having nice things or having desires, because we all have things that we want. Because we have the things that we need, but then we have the things that we want. Ain't nothing wrong with the things that you want, but it's the intent. The intent is not right. Your heart is not right. Your intent is coming from an evil place. It's coming from a place of maliciousness. Now, back to James chapter 4. And we're going to read verse 4. And when you get there, go ahead.
You adulterers and adulteresses.
Go ahead.
Know you not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God.
Now, it says, you adulterers and adulterers, know that, know ye not that the friendship of the world is an enmity with God? Because again, Satan is the prince over this world that we living in today. And the course and the direction that he got this world going in is different from the course and the direction that God wants us to go in. So naturally, you got two different minds wanting you to do two separate actions, two different things. So naturally, those ideologies are going to clash. But I like how, James said adulterers and adulteresses. So he's talking about adultery here. But is he talking about physical adultery? No. He's talking about adultery against God. So you can go out and get this stuff out here in this world. So you're committing adultery against the Lord so you can go out here and fulfill your lust. Yeah, I know God want me to do things this way, and I know I'm supposed to, operate like this, but I can't lie, man. I got to go out here and get this thing out here. And I know it's going to go against God. And so you commit adultery on him, because remember, you guys are in a marriage. You're in a committed relationship. You've made a pact, a covenant. You've made an agreement that this is how we're going to operate and this is how we're going to do things. But you said, hey, man, screw this for the time being, because, I'm trying to go out here and get this thing right here. And it go against God. And so guess what? You've not committed adultery. We don't see it that way, but do you not know that that is actually adultery? It's not just physical, brothers and sisters. It's also spiritual. And it's also idolatry as well. Because you are willing to leave God so you can go and fulfill your lust, which is only going to make the void inside of you that much bigger. You are only feeding the beast. And right now you have the beast on the leash, but pretty soon that beast going to get so big, it's going to have you on the leash, walking you around. You're going to be barking on all fours and it's just leading you around. It's just leading you. Go over there. I want this thing right here. You're going to go right over there. Because that's what happened. People are now completely consumed and led by lust. And it's destroying them, their family, the city, the country, everything. So I don't want to hear nothing about no homosexuals. Hey, man, let's deal with this lust right here. Yeah, boy, he be doing all that lusting. Okay, but you a liar. Let's deal with that. See, because this is how men operate. They view one sin higher than the other, but all sin is destructive in its own way. It's no joke, brothers and sisters. It's not. And we have to be careful. We have to make sure we renewing our mind, because again, this fourth beast ain't helping. They are constantly feeding that lust. And you gonna get some of it indirectly. They're just stuff you can't control. You going to watch a brother video or something about the word, here come an ad pop up. Mm-hmm. You on your phone looking at something, an ad gonna pop up. Satan got this machine running 24/7, trying to lure you in, trying to pull you back into the world. So you gotta fight that thing by renewing your mind with the word of God.
Got to be on post.
on post, because remember, brothers, so this is a war for your mind. And Paul just told you, you know, he was talking about wearing the armor, which signifies that you're at war. But what is this a war for? What is Satan trying to obtain? He's trying to obtain your mind, because once I can get your mind, then I can get once I obtain your mind and conquer your mind, I can get your body to do whatever I want it to do. And he know that. That's why he got to get this. That's why this right here, this mind, that is the most deadliest thing, an enemy, with number one being Satan. That is the deadliest thing any enemy can conquer, is the mind. Because if they can conquer this, they got your body. They got your body.
Nope.
And it's all that simple. What you're seeing out here today in 2025 is people's minds who have been conquered by Satan.
That's what you was talking about last week.
What I was talking about.
Chapter 3.
Mm-hmm.
About when he was talking about no man can tame that tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've tamed everything else, and that tongue, it just...
Because that tongue is a manifestation of the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because that mind, boy, to take you places you never thought you would be. Because you couldn't control it. All right, where we was at?
So back to...
Okay, we got to go through our reference scriptures.
Yeah, so, 1 John.
1 John 2.
And you can't play with sin either.
Yeah, you can't play with sin.
Because it look all innocent and start off like that and destroy you. That's what Satan do. He breadcrumb you. He do. He be like, following that little trail.
Follow the breadcrumbs. Yeah. That's right. Now, I'm just reading in Genesis 3:1 real quick. Never forget, brothers and sisters, it says, now the serpent, Satan, it says the serpent was more subtle, more cunning, more deceiving than any beast of the field which the Lord had made. Satan is good, boy. Don't ever underestimate him. Always acknowledge that Satan is good at what he do. That he's a great deceiver. And even when you pray, Lord, Satan is a great deceiver. He knows just how to get me. Lord, help me overcome him. That's the stuff you got to pray. Don't think you can do it on your own. You're going to be sorely mistaken. You trying to do things by your own strength is going to only lead to your downfall. No, you need to admit that you don't have any strength, and that you need the Lord's strength to overcome this serpent. Because we all gonna need the strength of the Lord, brothers and sisters, to overcome this serpent. Because your own strength is going to fail you. I'm just letting you know. You may hold out for a little bit, but you're gonna be overtaken soon. No, that's why you need the Lord's strength that never fails. And if his strength never fails and that strength is in you, then guess what? You will never fail. But again, you have to do it by the Lord's strength, though. But anyway, let's go to 1 John chapter 2. Okay, and we are going to read verses 15 through 17. Hold on, let me see. I'm just making sure. Because remember, it says the world is at enmity with God. Okay, go ahead.
Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world.
Okay, so the Lord, he says, do not love the world, neither the things that are in the world or in this life. Go ahead.
If any man
hold on, because you remember the Lord always talks about the world to come. So you know he's talking about this life. This is what he's talking about. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. Go ahead.
If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
That's right. Go ahead.
For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes.
The lust of the eyes, because remember Lot wife, remember she pulled the, she got turned into a pillar of salt because she was thinking about all of the stuff she used to get to do back then, Sodom and Gomorrah. But Sodom and Gomorrah, they always talk about the homosexuality part. But brothers and sisters, there was a lot more evil going on in there than that. That was just one of their greatest sins that they was doing. But basically what you see going on here in America and many other nations of the past that have come and gone, that's what they was doing. All manner of evil. In other words, they was doing the infamous quote of, do what thou wilt. And she looked back because you know why? She still had an eye for it. I kind of missed that thing. Got turned right into a pillar of salt. Go ahead.
And the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world.
That's right, because that's all you're concerned with. But those of us that's of the Father, guess what? We're thinking about that world to come. And we operate according to the world to come's rules. Go ahead.
And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of God abideth forever.
So Lord is telling you anyway, he like, listen, one way or another, this world gonna pass away. Whether you die or I come back and obliterate this world, it's gonna come to pass. So guess what? You might as well line up with the world to come. I'm telling y'all, I done seen guys, I'm serious, I done seen guys retire, man. Millionaires. And then literally, they only been retired a week. Dead. You only been retired a week. Dead. This life, brothers and sisters, is vanity. And we do what we have to do to survive. We do what we have to do to make things, to make ends meet. But this should not be this life should not be our number one priority. Because never forget, you can get out of here at any time. You could be walking, because remember, time and chance. It ain't because people did evil that they get out of here. Sometimes it just be time and chance. You walking down the street, two trucks hit each other. Psh, then the tire go flying off of one of them. And you just walking down the sidewalk. Then it come and hit you straight in the head, kill you instantly. And I've heard of a story like that. That's why I brought it up. It could be over just like that. We all got life insurance. We got car insurance. What they got now? Phone insurance. All kind of insurance. But we ain't got no spiritual insurance. We not setting ourselves up for the world to come.
Right. Soul insurance.
No soul insurance. That's right. Because you're not taking nothing with you from here. George Foreman, again, rest in peace. He ain't take nothing with him. No boxing gloves, none of that. No grills, no trophies. This is why the Lord wants you to be in the house of mourning. I want y'all to deal with death and all of that stuff. Look at the reality of it. Because see, man, they don't want to think about that stuff. But the Lord said they do though. Every living man know that they're going to die. And with them knowing that, instead of them saying, you know what? Let me figure out what I need to do to get right with God. So that way when I'm die, I'm good. Instead of doing that, okay, I know I'm going to die. So I'm just going to go ahead and live it up. I'm going to live my best life, or I'm going to do things so I don't have to think about it. That's this generation that we live in. Let me live it up so I don't have to think about this death that's coming for me. Because every man know.
Yep, that's what it is. Mm-hmm.
Every year, every day, you getting older and older. And that's why the Lord allows us to age, because he letting you know. You coming to see me shortly. I don't ever want you to forget that. You coming to see me shortly. And that's supposed to be an indication to you, hey man, let me get this thing right. Because I'm going to have a big black God I got to deal with after this. We read all that?
Yeah, we finished that.
All right, 2 Corinthians 4. That's right, Sassy Brick 22. Soul insurance, and it's free. That's the thing about this insurance. It's free. Ain't no subscription or nothing. 100% free. So 2 Corinthians 4, we're going to read verse 4. And when you get there, go ahead.
In whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine unto them.
So those that don't believe, they mind been blinded. I mean, they eyes have been blinded. But blinded to what though? They've been blinded in thinking that this world matter and that this life matter, when it doesn't. It doesn't. And we're doing what we're doing what we have to do to pass through. That's the way this life should be looked at. We are doing what we have to do to pass through. Or as Elon Musk say, the simulation. We're doing what we got to do to get through the simulation. Because we're sojourners. This is just a temporary resting place. And once the time is up, it is up. And then our real destination awaits. But we just sojourners. That's it. We are not supposed to be caught up in this life. That's why man, I ain't worried about what Trump doing. Oh man, you heard about JD Vance. I ain't worried about what he doing. Now, granted, I respect the position, I respect the authority and all of that stuff. I ain't worried about all that. My number one concern is, am I right with God? Can I leave out of here today knowing that I've done what the Lord asked of me? If an angel came to y'all right now and said, brother such and such, sister such and such, we is here to take you. Are you ready? Or is you going to start screaming and howling? Ah!
You want to be like Jacob.
That's
Put
right.
your feet up and lay back.
You want to be like Jacob. You want to be able to put your feet up and say, I've done all that the Lord have required of me. Just like Paul. He said, I fought the good fight. Or is you going to be up there screaming, hollering and crying because you know you didn't do what was right? You don't never want to be in that spot. You don't ever want to be in that position. That ain't no joke. And let me tell you something. The devil, I'm telling you, that joker double crosser, because in your final moments, he is going to leave you. And you going to realize, I've been lied to. Don't even play around with that stuff. Just get right. Okay, so now we can go back to James 4. And we're going to read verses 5 through 7. And when you get there, go ahead.
Do you think that the scripture saith in vain, the spirit that dwelleth in us lusteth to envy?
And remember, lust and envy, they siblings. Lust and envy are siblings. Because that envy breeds lust. And that lust is developed because of envy. This is why the Lord say, let us all be content. Go ahead.
But he giveth more grace. Wherefore he saith, God resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble. Submit yourselves, therefore, to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you.
Okay, so it says God resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble. So that what you need to do, you know you got a lust problem. Amen. First thing you need to do is go to the Most High and admit you got a problem. I ain't gonna lie to you, Lord. I got a serious issue. I got a serious problem. What they call it, the alcoholics, the confessional or something like that. That's what you need to do. You need to do a confessional with God. You need to admit that you have a problem. And it ain't just with lust. It's with many things that we are dealing with. We need to admit we have anger, lust, covetousness. You got a problem with maliciousness. You know, you just can't stop. You just got an evil eye. Listen, you need to admit to the Lord, I got a problem. And I need help overcoming this thing because it's got a hold of me. And this thing got a hold of me, and I can't do what you say. If this thing got a hold of me, I wouldn't be pleasing you. I wouldn't be walking right with this spirit on me. And see, the Lord can work with you. When you admit you have a problem, then we can work on the issue. But as long as you walk around prideful, you a spiritual giant. Not me. I ain't got no problem. Everybody can clearly see you the angriest man and the woman in the room. Clearly can see you got a covetous problem. Clearly see that you're malicious. You got an evil eye toward everybody. Hey, man, you got to be like, Lord, man, I got an issue. Help me. And the Lord loved that. I just told y'all, trying to do it by your own strength, it ain't going to help you. You need the help of God.
I was going to say, too, this is what he mean, y'all. When the Lord say to afflict yourselves, this is what he mean.
That's right.
Because it's easy. It's easy because you got people who believe afflicting yourself only means to just fast. But anybody can stop drinking water and stop eating. but still be dealing with these types of issues.
That's
and
right.
We see that in this world. There's plenty of people, oh, I'm keeping the Day of Atonement. I'm doing a Daniel fast, and they still battling with all of these different lusts, and they haven't submitted themselves to God. This is the real affliction.
That's right.
That is afflicting. You battling with something that you want, that you know that ain't right, and you trying to walk with God. And so that's that battle between the flesh and the spirit, and you having to come to God and give that up. That's an affliction to the flesh.
Which is proof that what? The affliction is what? Humbling yourself. Man,
that's it.
Don't want to humble themselves. Why? And I told you, I done told y'all this a couple of Sabbaths now in a row. Men don't want to humble themselves because they don't want to look weak. It look weak if I admit defeat. It look weak if I admit that I'm not strong enough. It look weak if I have to cry because I'm in so much pain that I can't contain it anymore. It looks weak that I have to admit that I need help. That's an affliction to men and women. That's a great affliction. But what do men and women do? I'm not finna look weak, and they end up doing what? Walking right here in this pride. And it say when you do that, God gonna do what? He's going to resist you. And I'm gonna let you guys know that word resist. It means he's going to fight you. No man ever has been able to fight with the Lord. Every man is in the grave that thought they can fight the Lord.
That's right.
That's a battle, brothers and sisters. You're not going to win. God is telling you, walk around with that prideful spirit. He's telling you, I'm going to go to war with you. And I promise you, that is a war you're not going to win. It says, but he giveth grace or mercy to the humble. Man, I was finna go to war with him. I was finna go to war with her, but they done humbled themselves. Now I can show them mercy. You need strength? That's okay. I got you. You need some help? Okay, I'll help you. You crying because you in so much pain? That's okay. I'll wipe the tears away from your eyes. So you ain't got to, and heal your problem so you ain't got to worry about that no more. God is prepared to do the healing, but you got to admit you got a problem first. Now, it say God resisted the proud. Now, he don't just fight you for the sake of fighting. You know, he's fighting or going to war with you to get you to that state right there where you humble yourself. Okay, you're finally done fighting. I'm going to beat you straight down to a low state. And now that you're done fighting, now you can humble yourself. That's what it's all about. That's what the war is for. This is why he resists you, so he can humble you. This is why he will impoverish a nation. This is why he'll give a nation over to a bad economy. He'll do all kind of stuff to humble you or try to get you to humble yourself.
Like he's doing with Israel, his own people.
Yeah, look at us, brothers and sisters, as a group, 12 tribes. Number one, we scattered. And number two, no matter where we at, we impoverished. You may have a few token black people, you know, who got a little something, you know, may got a little money or something like that. But for the most part, Israel lived hard, impoverished. Why? Because he trying to break that prideful spirit. He trying to break the power of Israel, which is their pride. I got to break these people. And once they've had enough, Once they're sick and tired of being sick and tired, they'll humble themselves and they'll finally say, what? Lord, help me.
Mm-hmm. If my people that are called by my name will humble themselves. See, so he'll fight you to humble you.
Lord, we can't take no more of this fourth beast. It's too much. They ripping us apart, tearing us down. We ain't got no fight left, nothing like that. Lord, help us. He'll say, okay, I can come back and help. But you got to admit, brothers and sisters, that you have a problem, though. Have a problem. Okay? Now, we read all that in
yes,
us.
sir.
2 Corinthians 4. Okay.
Now we in Genesis.
Okay. Yeah, because we read. Oh, okay, yeah, Genesis 8:21. Now, this is something right here that we need to understand about ourselves. Genesis chapter 8:21. Go ahead.
And the Lord smelled a sweet savor. And the Lord said in his heart.
Remember, this was after he just essentially drowned the whole world. Okay, go ahead.
I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake. For the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more every living thing as I have done.
Right. Now, the first thing we need to understand, we need to know this from the jump, brothers and sisters, is we are evil. Innately. Not passively, innately evil from our youth. From the time we understand right and wrong, we are some wicked jokers. Did you eat that cupcake? No. You got it's all over the little baby nose and mouth.
Icing all over you.
All over. From our youth, brothers and sisters, we evil. Mm-hmm. And so, understanding that from the jump, we should be asking God for help. Mm-hmm. We should know from the jump we have an issue. Lord, I already know I got a problem. Even when situations arrive, our first thoughts are what? Evil. Yep. Let's not play no games, because we got a lot of spiritual giants in Israel that think that they are just the best thing ever.
The epitome of all righteousness.
Right. Stop, man. No. When a situation arises, somebody talk to you crazy, your first instinct, your first thought is some evil. But when you have the word in you and when you've been meditating, that thought is what? Overrided with what? God's thoughts, which is why I tell you guys you need to meditate. And yes, it is hard because this flesh want to do what it want to do, but you must meditate because this will help you. The word will help you override your thoughts with God's thoughts. Man, get out of that parking spot, man. I was finna park there, man. Move, move, because I'm getting in there. Now, your first thought is what? Oh, I'm going to get in the car, right? And I'm going to back it up. Then I'm going to run him over with it. That's your first thought. Then you're going to get yourself in a world of trouble. But God's thoughts is what? Just get in the car and move it. Park somewhere else. Avoid the whole situation and all the trouble that could come with doing things your way. And doing that takes some humility. It does. It takes some humility. But again, I told you the problem with men and women. I don't want to look weak. So I ain't moving this car. I'm going to get in an argument with this fellow. I'm going to get in an argument with this woman. And from there, it turned into fist fighting. And from there, guns are drawn. Somebody that got shot, something crazy that happened. When the Lord's thoughts is just avoid all that. Just move the parking spot. It's other parking spaces. Just move it and go on about your day. But not man. Hey, man, I'm not finna look weak. And it's tough to do because a lot of us, we've come from that world. We were walking in the course of Satan when we did things how we wanted to do, rendering evil for evil. But when you walk with the Lord, you got to learn how not to do that. And it's hard. It's hard, boy. When people rail on you and you want to rail back on them. It's tough. Now, we read all that Genesis.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, now we can move on to Hebrews 3. Okay. Brothers and sisters, we don't need to be worried about nobody else. We need to be worried about getting our own mind right. Because see, the thing about walking with Christ and the thing about operating in love, which is the doctrine of Christ, it's all about getting you right. Hey, I ain't worried about what nobody else doing. We not going to worry about what nobody else doing. We making sure our mind right. We making sure that we're walking accordingly. And that's what it's all about. I'm not waiting on this brother to change. I'm not waiting on this sister to change. I'm not waiting for this dog to jump the fence. Listen, we making sure we getting our mind right. We making sure we're walking according to love, because remember, we got to stand before God. Not that person who you waiting on to change your stuff. No, man. You gonna be standing before God, and you gonna have to take an account for everything you did, everything that you said. So at the end of the day, you got to make sure you're doing what's right. You can't wait on this world to change. That's what we waiting on. I'm waiting for everybody else to change before I change. Nope, that ain't how this thing works. You got to be right. All right, what I said, boy?
Hebrews chapter 3.
Verse 12, go ahead.
Take heed, brethren, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief in departing from the living God.
And that right there, brothers and sisters, is the capital wickedness. That's the capital sin right there. That wicked heart of unbelief. And that's why brothers and sisters don't want to do things God's way, because they don't believe. This is why you lust. This is why you destroy and you harm, because you want to do things your way. Because I don't believe that if I do things God's way, that I will prosper, that I can get gain that way. I don't believe that. I got to take matters into my own hands, because I believe that is the only way that I can prosper in this life. That is the only way I can get people to respect me. But the Lord say no, come do it my way. Now, it may look weak to other people in the way that you operate, but guess what? I'm going to cause, I'm not only going to cause, not only are you going to gain my respect, you're going to gain the respect of your enemies. They're going to be at peace with you. I'm going to give you everything. I'm going to bless your bank account. I'm going to bless everything. Give you your heart's desires, all of that. But the problem is we don't believe that. And because I don't believe that, I'm going to do things my way. And that's how we get in trouble. Now, we read that. Okay. Let's go back to James chapter 4. And we are going to read verses 8 through 10. And when you get there, go ahead.
Draw nigh to God, and he will draw nigh to you.
Mm-hmm.
Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded.
Mm-hmm.
Be afflicted and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning, and your joy to heaviness. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up.
And you only going to do that if what? You believe. But if you don't believe, when we talk about that evil heart of unbelief, if you don't believe, you're not going to do that. You're not going to humble yourself. You still going to be trying to fight. Because why? You don't believe. No, stop fighting and humble yourself. Do things God's way. And what? He shall lift you up. So you need to come to God and put away the evil works of the flesh, such as what we've been talking about in the beginning here, which is that lust. The Lord got you. He'll take care of you, but you need to do things his way. Stop trying to make stuff happen. Let's go real quick to Galatians 5. Because here in James 4, James, he says, cleanse your hands, ye sinners, which that's what we are, sinners. Don't fool yourself. He says, cleanse your hands. So when he says, cleanse your hands, he's talking about of evil works. What evil works? Well, we're about to look at some right here. When you get there, verse 19 through 21, go ahead.
Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these.
So this is what you need to cleanse your hands of. Go ahead.
Adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like.
And this is what James is telling you need to cleanse your hands of. Go ahead.
Of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of God.
Because those things that we just read about, that's the course of this world. This is how people operate in this world. This is the course or the direction Satan got these people walking after. And why? They don't want to do things God's way. We're going to do what we want to do. Because Satan got his way he wants you to do things, and God, he got his way he wants you to do things. And people say, well, I don't want to do things God's way. Well, you only going to do the other way. It's only two anyway. Ain't no in between, none of that stuff. You either going to do it Satan's way, which is how this world is operating, even down here in 2025, or you're going to do things God's way. And it's all that simple. Now, we're going to keep reading Galatians 22, and we're going to read verse 22 through 26. Now, he said, in James chapter 4, James says, cleanse your hands, ye sinners, meaning cleanse your hands of those evil works. Those evil works is a hard just read about. And how are you going to cleanse your hands? You're going to cleanse your hands or your mind with what? Christ. And once you could do that, you can begin to walk in the Spirit. Okay? When you get there, go ahead.
But the fruit of the Spirit is love.
Now, this is after you've cleansed your hand. This is after you have rid yourself of them evil works through the power of Christ. You can begin walking after the Spirit so you don't fulfill the lust of the flesh. Go ahead.
Joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law.
Mm-hmm.
And they that are Christ have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts.
Mm-hmm. Which means they no longer walk after the flesh. Go ahead.
If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Let us not be desirous of vain glory.
Which is what? Worldly. That's carnal. Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead.
Provoking one another.
Mm-hmm.
Envying one another.
And that's all you see among Israel. Vainglorying, provoking each other, and envying one another. Why? Because they not walking after the Spirit. They working the works of the flesh because they mind the things of this world. They don't mind the things of the world to come. They are only minded of the things of this world. All right, let's go back to James chapter 4. Gotta get this darn cold out.
Yeah.
This the nose blowing lesson right here.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, get it on out of here, boy. Hey.
I had some Vicks, I'll give it to you.
Oh, yeah.
Rub up under your nose.
Vicks be stinging my nose after a while. All right. So back to James chapter 4. And we are going to read verse 11 and 12. When you get that, Zahara, go ahead. I'm sorry about that, James. Yeah, blowing the trumpet of the nose. Yeah, these Israelites, they funny, man.
Israel is hilarious. I just had to look at the chat before I read.
Mm-hmm. You know how it is.
Mm-hmm. The jazz band.
Mm-hmm. Got it going. Full parade. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lord. Laughter is good for the soul.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
So we on James 4, verse 11 and 12.
All right. Speak not evil one of another, brother.
That's right. Speak not evil one of another. Go ahead.
He that speaketh evil of his brother and judgeth his brother speaketh evil of the law and judgeth the law.
And you're speaking evil of the law because who is the law? The law is Christ. And Christ said, don't judge your brother. For what judgment you mete out, it should be meted out to you. So don't even judge your brother. That's what he said. Okay, go ahead.
But if thou judge the law, thou art not a doer of the law, but a judge.
Meaning you're saying that you're greater than Christ. Because Christ is the law. And so if you judge in Christ, then you're saying that you're greater than him. And Christ told you, he said, hey, don't judge your brother. Because what judgment you mete out to him, it's going to be meted out to you. And so what is he teaching us? You need to be considerate. You need to be careful in how you deal with your brother. You need to put yourself in his shoes or her shoes. But anyway, let's read verse 12.
All right. There is one lawgiver.
Because remember, at the end of verse 11, he says, thou art not a doer of the law, but a judge, because you're saying now that you're greater than Christ. But James said, amen, don't get it twisted. He says there is one lawgiver, meaning one judge, right? Go ahead.
Who is able to save and to destroy.
And that's Christ.
Who art thou that judgeth another?
That's right. So you can't be up there making no final judgment and stuff like that. But anyway, the Lord, he always had been trying to get Israel to be careful with how we deal with one another, considering ourselves. Hey, what if you was in this brother position, or what if you was in this sister position? Would you be fine with the judgment, or would you like the judgment that you pronounced on them on yourself? Because it's always easy to breathe out judgments and threatenings when it ain't you. But when you fall or you get caught up in something, you be hoping people have mercy on you. Perfect example is David. Remember Nathan the prophet came and he said, hey, he told him the parable about the rich man that took the poor man's ewe lamb. Even though the rich man had plenty of cows, if they took the poor man's female lamb, the only thing he had, took it, killed it, sacrificed it or whatnot, and old man David was mad. He said, oh man, this man should surely die. And then Nathan was like, yeah, I want to let you know that man in that parable is you. And what did David say? He said, I have sinned. Mm-hmm. Because see, now that same judgment that he meted out was directed towards him, now he started backpedaling. Because now what was he thinking? That was what? The H word. That was harsh. But it ain't considered harsh until it's you. And that's why we have to be careful. Especially like we discussed previous Sabbaths ago with authority figures. You got to be very careful. Because how you're ruling over or dealing with those under you, would that be acceptable? How you're treating them, would that be acceptable if you were them receiving the treatment from yourself, if that makes sense?
Yeah. Do unto others as you have them do unto
See,
you.
you don't care till you feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially here in 2025, nobody puts themselves in other people's shoes. Because people today, they're selfish. Selfishness. And the Lord say, don't do that. In other words, yeah, you got to discipline your brother, discipline your sister when they get out of line, but you shouldn't be trying to destroy them, man. That's what the Lord is talking about. Don't try to destroy them. And these brothers and sisters, whether it's a camp, a church, when somebody fall to sin or they mess up or get exposed in some type of way, you see brothers and sisters, they're trying to destroy the brother. They trying to destroy the sister. Instead of trying to judge them and then afterwards winning and afterwards winning them back over. But instead, Israel, they try to destroy you. This is what they do. And a lot of times, I'm going to say it this once, I'm going to say it again. A lot of times, too, it ain't got nothing to do with the actual situation, the sin that the brother or sister fell in. It had everything to do with the fact of, I hate that Negro.
Envy.
I hate that sister. I can't stand her. And now the occasion has arisen to where now I can show my hate. But I will hide behind the fact that they fell to adultery, that they fell to theft or fornication or something. I can hide behind that. But really, I'm malicious and I actually hate that brother. I actually hate that sister. I just needed a situation to come up to where I could show that hate. So now that this brother got caught up in fornication, now I can show my hate. And when people catch on, they say, bro, this sounds a little more than what's going on. Then you can hurry up and run behind the fornication. No, I'm just talking about the situation. No, you hate that brother. That's what it is.
That's right.
And let me tell you something, God read all that stuff.
He sure do.
And he don't play. And you have to be careful because that universal law is out there, brothers and sisters. Whatsoever a man, and that include women too. Yeah. Oh, see, he said whatsoever a man. No, that's Adam, both man and woman. That's whatsoever you shall sow, that you shall reap. Y'all gonna reap. That's why you have to be careful doing what? Considering yourself. All right. Now where we at? So
now we gotta go. We finished verse 12. So now to the reference scripture. Matthew 7.
Okay. Matthew 7. Because remember, it says, he that speaketh evil his brother and judgeth his brother speaketh evil of the law, which is Christ, and judgeth the law. Because remember, Christ being the law, he told you, don't judge your brother.
That's right.
It's almost at me. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I was going to say, every time they read that word law over there in the New Testament, they automatically think the law of Moses. But we are up under the law of Christ.
That's right. We under the law of Christ. This is what James talking about.
And that's why it's important to be under Christ, because Christ is dealing with the matters of the heart. Moses dealt with the matters of the outside, the outer man, the outer things. But Christ is dealing with the inner man. And this is what our people need to hear. Not about fringes and and all of those things that came with Moses, beards and all of that. That was under the law of Moses, but under the law of Christ, this is what Christ wants us to work on. Stuff like this. Because I see too many brothers and sisters, they got on the outward. They saying, oh, we keeping the law of Moses. They say they keeping the feast, but we seeing all this mess in them that we reading about. So to let you know, yeah, you got that physical circumcision, but you don't have that spiritual circumcision cutting out all these works of the flesh.
Tell it.
Because I see a lot of that going on. And you'll have them same ones ask us, well, you ain't under the law of Moses. Are you lawless? Well, what did we just read? What did we just read in Galatians? We're walking in the spirit. So we're not doing all of these evil works, but somehow we see people who claim that they are the law of Moses. We see them doing all these works. See, and this is what Jesus was talking about.
That's
I just
right.
want to throw that in there.
And then too, we need to be dealing with Christ, because I'm gonna say it again. Every time a situation come up in a camp or a church, and a brother and sister fall, usually be the time where the mind of Israel get exposed. That's when you see all that maliciousness and all that hatred and everything in Israel. It all come out.
All that leaven.
You don't see no brothers and sisters or nothing like they're trying to show any type of mercy, compassion, nothing. They just be on a wrath campaign. Wrathful, spiteful, malicious. And remember, there are brothers and sisters on the outside looking in. They're watching our behavior, brothers and sisters, believe it or not. Because I've seen some worldly Israelites on YouTube and everything. And they comment on the Israelites. Say, man, I be seeing how they be moving and stuff, man, but they just so harsh. And they usually say what? In terms of the knowledge, they got knowledge and stuff, but say, man, they just so harsh. Like, and what do they explain? That they ain't got no love.
Yeah.
They don't have any mercy, like no compassion or anything. They just brutal. They use brute force with everything.
Yeah, but that's what Paul was talking about. What good is it if you got all this knowledge, you got all this so-called wisdom, but he said, if I ain't got love, I ain't got nothing. All that is in vain.
It don't mean nothing.
It don't mean nothing.
Now we're going to read Matthew 7 and verse 1 and 2. Because again, in James 4, it says, he that speaketh evil of his brother and judges his brother speaketh evil of the law, because Christ is the law. And they say and judges the law, meaning you judge Christ. You're judging the lawgiver. But let's go ahead. Matthew 7, verse 1 and 2.
Judge not, that you be not judged.
Now, this is what Christ said. So it said, speaketh evil of the law. Well, Christ is the law, and this is what the law said. Read it again.
Judge not, that you be not judged.
Go ahead.
For with what judgment you judge, you shall be judged. And with what measure you meet, it shall be measured to you again.
See? Now that's what the law say. The law tells you that. But you got brothers and sisters say, screw that. I'm going to do some judging. I'm going to do what I want to do. Well, okay. But just know that there's consequences for that. And the person that you're going to have to answer to is the one who gave the law, which is Christ. You're going to have to answer to him for that. Lord, don't play any games, brothers and sisters. You got to be very careful. This love thing we talk about, brothers, this law of love, this ain't a game. This is serious business. But the problem is we lightly esteem Christ. He hasn't been exalted in the eyes of Israel. Now we're going to go to Matthew 10. Here we go. Matthew 10 and 28. Go ahead.
And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
In other words, we need to be fearing God. We don't need to be fearing our pastor. No, now, hold on now. You respect your pastor. We don't need to be fearing the camp leader, but hold on. You respect your camp leader. Mm-hmm. But we shouldn't be fearing them. Our fear should be towards God. At the end of the day, any choices that are made should side with God. Not our camp leader, not our brother, our cousin. Well, this brother been in the truth 15 years. It don't matter. At the end of the day, when any choices and decisions are made, it should align with God, regardless of what anybody else thinks. Because everybody's going to have an opinion. But it ain't about opinion. It's about doing what God say. Because at the end of the day, it told you God can destroy both the flesh and he could destroy the soul. So that's who we need to be fearing. And plus, that's who we going to have to take an account to anyway. I'm not going to be standing before the pastor. I'm not going to be standing before the camp leader. I'm not going to be standing before the deacon. I'm going to be standing before God. So it behooves me to please him. It's no different at work, right? You're not trying to please your coworker, right? Because in the body of Christ, we have different positions, but at the end of the day, we all brothers and sisters, and the master is Christ. There's no different from at work. You're not trying to please your coworkers. I mean, y'all do the best you can to get along and stuff. That ain't what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, you trying to please your boss. Because he the one signed that paycheck. Mm-hmm. He the one that can give you that raise based off of your evaluation. So that's who you trying to please. Because why? You got to give an account to him. Because he the one can give you the pink slip. Mm-hmm. Your coworker can't give you the pink slip. You see what I mean? They don't sign your paycheck. Well, it ain't no different from with the Lord. Whenever it come to God, we all get confused. No, it's no different. It's the same stuff. Mm-hmm. All right. We're going to go back to James 4. And we already read verses
12. We finished that.
We finished 11, 13, and 12. Okay, so now we are reading verse 13 through 15. Okay, go ahead.
Go to now, ye that say, today or tomorrow we will go into such a city.
I hear a lot of that today. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
And continue there a year, and buy and sell and get gain. Whereas you know not what shall be on the morrow. For what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time, and then vanisheth away. For what you ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that.
Let's go real quick to Matthew 6. And then we'll go to Proverbs with Matthew 6 and 34. Because this goes right along with Christ's doctrine. Go ahead.
Take therefore no thought for the morrow.
Now this is Christ speaking.
For the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof.
So the Lord is telling us, so not only are you not promised tomorrow, but the Lord is telling you that the evil is, the actual evil is you worrying about tomorrow. The worry is the evil. Am I going to have enough? Am I going to worry? Always overly worried about the future, overly worried about tomorrow. That is the evil. And that's why men do evil today. Mm-hmm. So that way they can, in their mind, have tomorrow covered. But God say, hey, man, don't worry about tomorrow. You just do what's right today. And if I let you live to see tomorrow, I'll make sure you covered. But don't you worry about it. I got tomorrow covered if I allow it. But you need to make sure you're doing what's right today. Make sure you're living accordingly today. Yeah. That's why people have all of these lusts, because that's what James was talking about in the beginning, lust. Mm-hmm. Because why? They worried about tomorrow, that they're not promised, by the way. I done seen a lot of that stuff. Oh, yeah, yeah, man. Yeah. It'll be Thursday. Yeah, man, weekend. Especially the heathen, they good with that. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's only Thursday. Yeah, man. Weekend's coming up, man. Dude, I'm going on a fishing trip, man. The weekend come, that joker sick as a dog. He ain't going nowhere. Mm-hmm.
The Lord say, change your plans.
Because you don't dictate or determine nothing. Because God already told you. Man has in their mind the way they think things are going to go. But he said, I direct their paths. And I say, you're going to be sick as a dog. Mm-hmm. You're going to be in there coughing with a bunch of tissues with a garbage by your bed.
That's so true. With some Vicks, some soup.
And your other friends, I'm going to let them go, but you ain't going.
It just show you that the kingdom of God operates different from this kingdom, because even in Babylon, they teach you early, what do you plan on doing in the next 5 years? Plan for the next 5. I don't even know what I'm going to do next second.
Right.
If the Lord will it. I've even thrown people off at work by saying that.
Mm-hmm.
What you finna do this weekend? If the Lord will, some of them do that double take because they can't believe you said it. Because people don't even mention God today. When you say it just throw them off. Lord willing. Because it really is his will, if he want it done or not.
That's right.
But that's that pride and arrogance of thinking you run things.
Will.
Yeah, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that.
Because in people's mind, they've been taught that they're their own God. You are not your own God. You better throw that mess out your mind right now. You only have one God. He sit in heaven on the throne. That's your God right there. You are not your own God, man. Sit down.
That's right.
I am the God of my destiny. No, God already created your destiny before the foundation of the world. You just better pray to God. The destiny he created for you isn't the negative part of his will.
That's right.
And see, people, that stuff right there, people don't like dealing with that.
That's why when you're a servant of the Lord, people don't want to be around you. Because you ever notice that? Well, I don't have the people to talk to, people around me, because people don't want to hear that word that you got. They don't want to think about God, so they stay away from you.
That's the truth. All right, Proverbs 3. And we're going to read verse 6. Proverbs 3 and 6. And when you get there, go ahead.
In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall Direct thy paths.
So in all your ways, acknowledge him. And what's a way of acknowledging him? If the Lord will. If the Lord be so merciful and compassionate to give me another day. Mm-hmm. See? And he shall direct thy paths. But see, you have to acknowledge the Lord. And here in 2025, ain't nobody acknowledging the Lord. Because that angers him, brothers and sisters, when you just walking around like you just doing all of this stuff. Like ain't nobody in control. I'm just doing what I want to do. No, that's not how this thing works. This world, and I have to say this again, and I said it on the previous Sabbath, this world is not operating on its own. Now, I know man, especially this fourth beast, who think that they're God. They want you guys to really believe this world is operating on its own. I'm here to tell you it's not. The Lord is sitting on the throne, gold everywhere. I want to let you know, gold everywhere. Looking good, everything. And he just sitting up there watching. Mm-hmm. Directing his world. The way the world run, the sun and the moon, all of that, the way it run and the way it's moving and everything is crafted by his very word. So the world, the way it's even running, comes from the word of God.
That's right.
It's a story. I keep telling y'all, it's a story that has already been written, that's already been completed. That's why he could call the end from the beginning, because it's a big stage play that he's already written, that he's already worked out and concluded, all of that stuff. It's just playing out. But the way man see it is them being in the play, they're just thinking, oh, well, I think, well, things are just kind of happening because they're happening. Coincidence. No, this earth running just how the Lord said it was going to run. In God's story, he said, I'm going to cast Israel into captivity, and then I'm going to raise up 4 great empires. And at the end of the 4th one, that's when I'm going to come back and get my people. And sure enough, first empire went by, 2nd one, 3rd one. We darn near at the end of the 4th one. And guess what? He going to come back. This world is not operating on its own, brothers and sisters.
That's right.
Do not. And the main ones pushing that garbage to y'all is these heathen. Because remember, these people, they think they're God. And they want y'all to believe that everything is happening because of them. This world is operating and running the way it is because of them. No, it's operating and running the way it is because God determined it. And everybody gonna find out at the end.
I like this. I had looked up the definition of acknowledge.
Oh yeah, go ahead with it.
And it says right here on Google, acknowledging God. In the context of God, acknowledging him involves a conscious recognition of his authority and guidance in every aspect of life. And you don't see, like you said, a lot of people don't acknowledge that he's in charge, but that's why their life messed up. Because see, God already know. If you notice, it ain't you not telling him stuff he don't already know. He already know. When you pray to him and everything, Jesus told you that. He already know your needs, your wants, everything. What the Lord is saying, acknowledge me, that only I can do it. Only I can provide for you. Only I can heal you. Only I can deliver you. That's what he wants. Acknowledge me, not your pastor, yourself, your mama, your children, your money, your own strength, me.
That's right.
Acknowledge me and I'll take care of you. Now you ain't got to be out here fighting and warring for your lust and your envies and doing all this evil. And like Israel trying to bring about their own deliverance. No, if you lay what you wanted, lay down your will and do and acknowledge me, and I'll do it for you.
But why won't you do it, Israel? Because that evil heart of unbelief.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great sin right there, boy. That unbelief. Remember, that's going to be the main reason why Israel died here spiritually. That's why they failed at the wilderness the first. See, we in the wilderness for the second time. But the first time, our people, they failed because of what? Unbelief. Don't let that be the reason why you fall again. Now, Proverbs 3 and 6. Yep, we already did that. All right, brothers and sisters, we got the last two scriptures, and then we will be out of here. So, James chapter 4, verses 16 and 17, and we'll be done. When you get there, sister, go ahead.
All right. But now you rejoice in your boastings. All such rejoicing is evil.
That's right. Stop boasting in your wrongdoing. Go ahead.
Therefore, to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin.
And again, that's that adultery. Yeah, boy, I know I need to stick with God and do things this way and all of that. But it's something out there, man, that I just I gotta go after. So you commit adultery. You leave God, you abandon him so you can go chase after this thing. Now, if he's merciful, he'll allow you to come back. He don't let everybody come back, though. Let's go real quick to Luke 12. Luke chapter 12. And we are going to read verse 47. Luke chapter 12. And we are going to read verse 47. Because remember, it says, therefore to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is a sin. Because you know what the Lord requires of you, but you decide I ain't going to do it. Well, here we go.
Luke 12 and 47. And that servant which knew his Lord's will.
That's right, you knew.
And prepared not himself. Neither did according to his will.
Because remember, we out here in the wilderness again. The Lord gonna see whether you're going to be obedient to his word or no. So he gonna suffer you to this life, which is the hunger and the thirst. What is hunger and the thirst this time is this life under this fourth beast. I'm gonna suffer you to this life to see if you're going to be obedient or no. But you decided, nah, I'm just going to live it up. Go ahead.
Shall be beaten with many stripes.
That's right. Say you're going to be beaten with many stripes. I mean, Lord, you're going to be judged harshly because you knew. You just decided you was going to do what you want to do anyway. But that is it, brothers and sisters, for James chapter 4. I hope you guys got some understanding. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sabbath, and Lord willing, I will see you in the next lesson. Shalom.
Okay, number 1 and 2, source 3350, control still 570, box 3350, cabin 34, number 180.